Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator coming to you from Kamloops, British Columbia. So welcome to my YouTube or my Facebook page live. I love it when I do have people that do join me live. Now, remember, if you're on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed below, hit that bell, and you get notified immediately as soon as I do go live. And the same with your Facebook page. You should be able to get notifications on that as well. So this is my Thursday. How did they do that? Technique Tuesday. This one has been going on now for over 2 years, and we're on technique number 106. Like I say, I'm always amazed when I've gone that long. I mean, I have missed some weeks, but on the most part, I've almost hit every single one. So I go live at 4:30 on Thursdays, unless something has happened where I've got a silly appointment or whatever. I try to keep to my schedule quite closely. All right. So remember that this is also part of a live. So I will be saying hello to different people as they do come on. Remember, they may have questions that you have as well. I do try to get input from everybody, usually on certain things that I kind of like to go with the people's choice. Today is not going to be that much of one because it's a very, very simple card that I'm doing in a very simple technique. But if you don't like me talking to different people, what you can do is you can watch it on a replay and just scoot on by that part. But if you are watching on a replay, make sure that you do tell me that you're watching on a replay. So welcome to Kay and Jeanne and Judy and Laura. Welcome. I really do appreciate you coming on here. So today, honestly, I had two other techniques that I tried, or not tried to do, but went looking in my stash, and I don't have the proper stuff to do some of these techniques. And it's unfortunate because one of them is really cool, and I think it's one way that you can expand more on your different product that you have in your craft room. But we'll save that because there's always another way that I could possibly do it as well. All right, so just going to go down to my desktop. This is the Eclipse Framed Art Technique or Frame Technique. This one, like I say, is very, very simple. And a lot of times, you might hear of an eclipse card, but this is how I interpret an eclipse card. An eclipse card gives you that where you can look in. It's different layers on a card that gives you depth and different things like that to it. Now, eclipse frames. I went and I wrote down here, you get the image stamped on a frame and it goes on the inside. Honestly, I really should reword that. But this was the third technique that I typed out today because, like I say, the second one wasn't going to work either because it didn't have a proper stamp set for it. So what you need to do on this particular one is you need to pick an image that you can stamp, and you might be able to color with it. We're going to go with a black and white card because anybody that knows me knows that I love to do black and white cards, or a black or a gray, white, and pink card, but we're going to go with a black and white card just to show you how simple it is. And I'm sure all of you can have something that you could do this particular technique with. Hello, Nancy. So on this particular technique, the other thing that you want to remember is we are going to use some other product, and I did have something. Oh, I know what I was going to say. On here, this basically is going to be put onto my Facebook group, and the group is down here below. There's a link to the Stamping with Diane Stampers group, and at 9:05 Pacific time, it will be on my thing for a downloadable link, and plus all the other 105 there. Hello, Joe. Oh my goodness. And hello, Meg. All right, so let's get going on this particular one. Like I say, it's very, very simple. I'm going to use, you want a fairly big image. And I'll tell you the one I was originally going to use. I was originally going to use this Layers of Beauty one. And this one would work great However, sometimes if you don't get it stamped properly, you really want a stamp positioner to do it. And I do have my Stamparatus, but I do not, I tend not to demonstrate it as much on here because we don't carry it anymore. I do have some still for sale, but yeah. Anyways, this one would work really good. I am going to use the Stippled Roses for this particular technique. I love the sentiments that are on here, mixed fonts and everything else. But we're actually going to use a celebrate, whether it celebrate like you could celebrate an anniversary, you can celebrate your birthday, you can celebrate an awful lot of different things there. All right, so let's bring in my cards. Like I said, hello, Andrea. Oh, you can't. Oh, right. How are your eyes? You had your surgery, right? Oh my goodness, I forgot to reach out. I am so sorry about that. All right. So this is just a piece of thick basic white. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Remember to always fold into the mountain. And we're just going to use our bone folder and get a really good score on there. And Marjorie has joined us as well. And then I have a piece of basic black that we're going to put onto the front. And this happens to be 4 by 5 1/4. And this piece of basic white happens to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp on there. Like I say, I'm going to use the Stippled Roses and I'm going to use Memento. Now at this point, I'm so glad, Andrea. I am so sorry I forgot to reach out to you about that. All right. So I'm just using this Memento on here. This gives me the chance that what I could do is I could turn around and I could go ahead and color this if I wanted to. Now, what I'm doing is I'm coming down a little bit lower on here, and I probably should be off of this page here. So let's just take this off of here, just like this. And hello, Lorraine. So just like that. And this kind of gives a gray appearance. So like I say, I could have used like a pink and a gray with this particular color. And now I'm going to come in with, I want to have a sentiment. And I want a sentiment that's fairly small. So I'm going to, with the Unbounded Love, this comes with those really, really neat dies. And I'm going to use the Celebrate one. So I have that already on a stamp. Now, this happens to be a photopolymer stamp, so I should bring in my paper piercing mat for that. And let's just get that inked up. And I'm just going to go put this right, I'm going to tuck it. Let's see, where am I going to tuck that? I'm going to tuck this right in here, quite close down there, because I kind of want to, when I'm doing this particular technique, I want to include that in the frame that I'm doing. All right, so we have this like this, and this really, like I say, is so simple. It's almost embarrassing to even put this down as a technique, but it is. It's a technique. Now think of the different dies that you can use with this. I did do a die with, and I'll show you this in a bit. I did it with circles, and I used the Notes of Nature circles, and I'll show you that in a bit. And I wasn't really super pleased with it, but I will still show it to you. All right, so these are the stylish shapes, and I decided to come in with the square ones, and I'm kind of doing this in a spot where you normally wouldn't do it. A lot of times what you would do, what most people would do you know the weight of the Stampin' Up thick cardstock? I think it's about 80 pounds. I think. I'm not sure, Joe. I could, yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it definitely is a lot thicker, and it's even thicker than our regular cardstock. It's quite thick. I really like it on there. Now I'm coming in with my other square, and you can put things in right in the middle. I kind of want to add a little bit more to it, and I want that Celebrate to really show. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here, and I'm going to use that Post-it note tape. just love that. You can get it from Amazon. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to put this right about there. We want to make it straight. You know what? I'll put this on here first. And let's just put this here. And then I'll just come in with some more Post-it note tape. And this is what the Post-it note tape looks like. Get lots of it from Amazon. I really like it. It keeps it in place when you go to cut it. So I even tried or thought, oh, this would be really good, even like I say, colored, or you could even sponge it. You could do anything like that. Okay, so I'm just going to come now and I'm going to bring in my big cut and emboss machine. And we really don't need to do much with this. Oh my goodness, is that ever a loved plate, right? So let's just put that right on there. This one's not so loved. It's nice and clear, actually. We're just going to put that down, make sure it's good, and it hasn't moved. It doesn't look like it has. We're going to get that right in between there and just put it in there. Okay, and I'm just going to move that down so you can see that just go through there. And honestly, that looked like it was really hard to put through. It wasn't hard to put through. It's just that I've got my table raised up to 36 inches. So, and I'm like 60 inches tall approximately. So I'm on my tiptoes when I'm running that through. All right, so I'm just going to take this off carefully. I just put it onto my stand here. Just like that. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. Just like that. All right, so then what we want to do is, and this part is kind of important. This would actually be really kind of nice if it was also like a designer series paper behind here. But let's go ahead and put that on. Thought this was primed. Sorry about that. Well, let's use the other one. It should be okay. There we go. And we don't want this oozing out here. So I am actually going to let this set on here because I do not want that part oozing out of that. So that's one thing. When you are putting glue on anything and it's near an edge or anything like that, always let it kind of set until it goes kind of, well, it kind of goes clear, that sort of stuff. So yeah. And then, like I say, this is going to go in here like so, but we're going to raise one part of this frame. Now, the one thing that we're going to raise it with, I could use dimensionals on here, but I wanted a tiny bit higher. No, it's not the spotlight technique. This is called an Eclipse Framed Technique. Spotlight technique is just a little bit different, and it's also in my group, and you could just go under spotlight. I also have a reverse spotlight on there at all. All right, so I am using these foam adhesive strips on here. These are great for shaker cards and everything else, but why I'm using these on here is because they're a tiny bit higher than what a dimensional is. So they're a bit higher on there. Now I'm thinking, oof, you know, I could come in here and let's just put that across there because, like I say, I don't want that to ooze out on there. All right, so this is just going to come like this, and we're just going to put it around the regular frame. This piece, like I say, is 3 3/4 by 5 inch. The reason this is called Eclipse is because you're going to see that this is going to, because of the way that you do the frame, it's actually looks like it's raised up, and it's an eclipse is what it is. This looks really cool with letters. You can get some pretty neat things with letter dies on there as well. All right, so then this piece here is going to go here, but I'm just going to, no, we're going to have to put it this way. I'm going to come in with this, just like this, and then we're going to get this so it goes in there. But I'm going to come in and let's put this part down first. We want to make sure that we don't get any glue onto that frame. And this is just going to fit in there. Now, I know this looks like the spotlight right there, Joe, but this is now going to come off. And then it's this piece, and this is the part that gives you the eclipse. So I'm just going to come in and, I know I had my scissors here, my paper snips. You know what? Here we go. So I have this piece here. This is just going to go, we're just going to trim off some of that. And like I say, this is a bit thicker than our dimensionals. So this is going to give a better look of the eclipse, with it just being a bit higher. So we're just going to go ahead and put that on there. Just coming in with these end bits. And put those on there. That. And then we're just going to come in and put these on there as well. I'm kind of eyeballing that. So like I say, these are those strips that do go great with shaker cards. But this, now by using this strip too, if you decided for your frames to use a circle, what you could do is you can shape that around a little bit. This frame is not wide enough that I can put dimensionals all the way around. All right, so we have this like this, and see, by this going like this, this gives that that illusion, and it's not just an illusion because it is that way, that it's popped up and then the other part eclipses in. I think that's the right terminology to say. All right, so let's just take this off. Oh, see, I don't use the strips that much, and I don't know why. I think because they are higher and they do take up extra room in. Okay, so see, this is just going to go in here, and you can see why we want the black behind there, because that gives that extra look of black right behind there. All right, so then we can go ahead, and I know some don't like ribbon, but I'm going to use this silver and sheer ribbon, and we'll just make a bow with it. Just like this. Remember, the whole key to a bow is tight. And then we'll just trim that off. Oh, and we should probably have something for the inside. And you know what? Oh, no. This is going to go on here. But on the inside, this one has a great rose right there. So I'm actually going to use that rose. And let's just put that onto a block. We'll use the Memento ink again. You know what? And I'm also going to bring this and use this as a scrap piece of paper because I kind of want it to come a little bit off of the card. So let's go back there. Just like so. There we go. And like I say, if you don't like black and white cards, you could color this. This rose colors up so pretty. Um, Lots of different things that you can do, but I really wanted a black and white card. I find black and white cards very elegant. Okay, so just like this. Remember, if you like this, give me the thumbs up. Oh, and honestly, I got to tell you about the new offer tomorrow. There is 10% off of bundle die sets. That's kind of cool. They have to be dies. They can't be punches. And yeah, that's until the end of, you know what, let's do maybe just there. Anyways, I'll have to figure out where I want to put that. I'm going to come in with a glue dot. All the right tools for our adhesives, right? Okay, I'm just going to trim this one down just a bit more. Be really nice right there. I'm going to put it there. Yeah, so there's 10% off, an additional 10% off. If you are a demonstrator, you'll get your discount plus the 10%. That's kind of hiding that, isn't it? Do we want to put that down lower? We could. That'll give so that there is that look. Now, the one thing that we don't have anymore are black embellishments. So there's a couple of things that we could use on this particular card. Oh, thanks, Joe. You could use these, which are the iridescent faceted gems. They would look quite nice on there. But these are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. And I went and I colored that with the black blender pen. And let's just go and put that there. One there. And one more right. We'll put right in there. So there's our card. Plain and simple, right? Simple stamping is actually really, really kind of nice when you can do something this simple on there. And just, it does have dies on it. And then the inside, and you can finish it any way that you want. All right. So I hope you like that. Yeah, these gray pearls are amazing, Laura. I totally, totally agree with you. All right, if you like that, give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, make sure that you reach out. Oh, I wanted to show you, you know what, I'm going to have to go back down to my desktop here, but I want to show you, I had used that which one did I say it was? That Layers of Beauty stamp set. Now, it takes a little bit more to do with it, and I should show you, I'm going to do this, show you on a black so that you can kind of see this. So I would have had to play around a lot more with where these things go, but it would have been okay. Let's see. Does it go there? Not quite. Maybe here. No, there. Yeah, that's pretty close, like that. And see with that, that would have given that look. And then, of course, you had to go in and figure out where this went as well. And I think it goes about there. And then this would have been raised up, this one particular thing. So that shows you another one that you could do with it. And I kind of like this, that it showed the black behind here, which is kind of cool. But I just couldn't guarantee when I was on air that this, or, you know, on when I was doing it live, that it would have stamped properly, because a lot of times you may have to go in and double stamp it, where with the Stippled Rose it did. All right, so tomorrow this will be posted at 9:05 a.m. Pacific time on my Facebook group, which is right down below here, the link, and you can print it off. I will have a picture of this card on there. I will also have the measurements on here, which really are pretty simple and standard measurements, and the different product that I've used. So if you have any questions, so please reach out, because I do try to answer or comment on all of my YouTube and my Facebook ones when they show up in my stream. I mean, we all know what Facebook is doing recently. All right, so that's the Eclipse. Think of doing that. We used to have those bigger alphabet dies, which were amazing for this. The thin ones are really kind of hard to do, but you can still do it, but you don't get the same effect with it. All right, you guys, good luck doing the Eclipse Framed Technique. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Remember to post that in the Facebook group down below here. Remember that if you do live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'd love to work with you. A lot of my classes do go across Canada. Also, if you want to reach out, if you are in another market for stamp camps and that sort of stuff, I can refer you to a demonstrator in another market. Remember to create, because it's great for the soul. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's mystery, so it'll be at 3:00 p.m. Pacific time. All right, bye for now.